Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be covering the Masters of the Universe best deaths. Now I know a lot of people love the videos and stuff because they're like so awesome and all that, especially He-Man. So let's get started. Top 10. Let's get going. Number 10. Hey, look, you guys ready? Let's do this. Number 10. Hordak. Now, Hordak is a really good character. I like him. He's really cool. And Hordak is just, he looks awesome. He looks like Skeletor. You know, he also appears in Masters of the Universe versus Injustice. But he's just a cool character, and I like him. He looks super awesome. And he sadly, perishes in Masters of the Universe episode, I believe 5. When they fight him and Tila gives in to her fear. And now it's a pretty cool thing. I like it, and it's super fun to watch. And Hordak is an amazing character. I love him. He's so cool, and he just looks cool and sounds cool. So yes, number 9. Number 9 on this. Number 9 on the list. Faker. Now, Faker is a really cool character. I like him, but he's on number 9 on the list because he's just, you know, he's cool. He's a robot version of He-Man. But Faker is, he has died a few times, so, yeah, it's not really surprised that he wouldn't die. I mean, he dies a lot, like he's a robot, but still it was a huge surprise to see him when he showed up, because I mean, for at least me personally, I thought when I saw the He-Man at the episode 1, I thought, oh, this is He-Man, man, why did he grab the sorceress? And then when it turned to Faker, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Faker. So yeah, that's why I have him at the number 9. Oh, yeah. Number 10. Wait, no. Number 8. The Fallen Champions. 8. So, the first champion, I think, was super cool. We don't really see his death, but it's pretty clear he dies. I like him. He's super cool. He was the first champion, and even though we don't see his death, it's pretty cool to know that there was other champions and that he has perished, and we get to see him, which is super cool, even though we don't see his death. So that is next. I believe number 8. Yeah. Number 8, Roboto. Now, Roboto is a super sweet character. He's even though he's a robot, he has got so much heart in him, and it's a really good reminder that even though some things that may not be living can still have heart, which is just amazing, and I love it. So when Roboto died and passed on, his final words were just so sweet and amazing. So I believe we're on number 7. I believe so. So. Okay. Here we go. Number 7. Or, no. Number 7. Hero. Now, Hero is a character, the one who forged the Power Sword, so even though we don't see him die, it's still awesome and cool to see him actually in the show. So, yeah, it's just cool that. Number 6. The Sorceress. Now, it's not implied that the sorceress may actually be dead, but when He-Man goes into the afterlife version of the champions, there is a dead sorceress there. Or there's a version of sorceress, so I don't know what happened to her exactly. Number 5. The Guards. Now, the Guards aren't really that important characters, but for some they are. They're really cool. So, yeah, I love them, and a lot of them died, so... yeah, I believe. Yeah. It's just cool. Number 4. Mossman. Now, it's just heartbreaking for Mossman's death. It's just so sad. Because Mossman, he's a lovable character, you know? He is awesome. He's so sweet. He's amazing. He's kind. And it shows you that he's literally the living embodiment of nature. And it's so kind that nature can take a form and actually help people. And it really does. So it was so heartbreaking when Mossman passed on. He does appear in the afterlife with He-Man, but still, it's just so heartbreaking that Mossman died from Skeletor, and he died protecting Grayskull. Number 3. Number 3. Skeletor. Now, Skeletor's death isn't really heartbreaking, but I just want to mention it on the list because Skeletor is such an iconic and awesome character. Who cannot mention him in a death list like this? Skeletor dies during the big orb explosion. He doesn't really die. He just hid his essence, but he returns in the last episode, which is just super heartbreaking. It's just super heartbreaking when you think he's actually dead to see such a good character, and then you believe he's dead. So there's that. Okay. Number 2, Orko. Now, for the second on this list, I had to mention Orko because who can't? And yeah, who can't mention Orko? Orko may return. He only lived from 1981 to 2021, but Orko he's just so sweet. He's a Trollian, and sadly he was killed in trying to help reforge, I believe, the Sword of Power, which is just so heartbreaking. I mean, even though and director Kevin Smith did such a good job with all these heartbreaking deaths, especially with Orko, because we really feel his death, and that's why I put it at number 2, because Orko is he's just so happy, he's so excited, he's amazing, and then we see him die protecting his friends, which is so heartbreaking to watch, and it's just amazing. Now, guys, after all that, after Orko's death, we have finally at our number 1 spot. Number 1 spot, shouldn't really come as a surprise. The champion, the current champion himself, He-Man. Now, He-Man sort of died 2 times. At first, he was during the giant orb explosion, and he passed on and met the other champions, along with meeting Mossman. But at the season finale, He-Man was about to lift the Sword of Power once more by the power. Here, I even have my little mini sword toy. By the power of Grayskull, I have the. And then, just as he was about to say his awesome final words, he was stabbed in the chest by Skeletor, who just had been reborn. And then He-Man, or Prince Adam, the champion, has perished. Now, he was probably going to come back for the second season swing, but it's just so heartbreaking to know that the champion has died. And now what's even more heartbreaking is this would technically be the last time in the season that he gets to say the famous final words. He says, by the power of Grayskull, I have the and then right when he's about to say power, he is stabbed through the chest. Now what makes it awesome is that his final words were also the most powerful words in that show. Because I remember during the making, I read there's this documentary on Netflix, Masters of the Universe, directing. And it says that they originally made the saying, I have the power, for kids so that they could feel like they actually have the power with He-Man. So it's just awesome and heartbreaking at the same time to see that the champion himself, the most powerful man in the universe, is just killed. But of course he probably will come back at some point, but it's still so heartbreaking to see that he dies. And then Skeletor takes the Sword of Power and rises up again. So there you go, guys. Enjoy my list. Have a good day. Peace.